Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, or DHMIS for short, was a really big YouTube horror web series that started in 2011 and ended in 2016. And if you watch the show normally, then you wouldn't really see a story. But if you look very closely, you can see hidden details that hint at a larger story. First, before I explain the hidden details and explain my theory, I'm going to summarize and recap all 6 episodes. And if you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend taking 30 minutes out of your day to watch it. Also, this video isn't about season 2. I'm going to do another video on that in the future, because it seems like season 2 is a separate story from season 1. The first episode starts with us seeing the main characters at a table. The main characters never got official names, but I call them Red Guy, Yellow Guy, and Green Duck. And there's a calendar on the wall that says it's the 19th of June, which is a very big Easter egg in DHMIS. And it's also the day that this video that you're watching was posted. Then a notebook opens and it starts singing a song about being creative. Then Yellow Guy draws a pretty picture of a clown, but the notepad doesn't like it.
You might need to slow down.
Then everyone gathers sticks and arranges them into their favorite colors. Red Guy picks blue, Duck picks red, and Yellow Guy picks green.
Green is not a creative color.
Then the notepad tells them that in order to be creative they have to listen to their heart. And they take that very literally. Then the notepad gets all tired from all the creativity, so it dies. The second episode starts the same way that the first one did. It's still the 19th of June. And it starts with the main characters just sitting there. Then a clock jumps off the wall and starts teaching them about time. And Red Guy clearly doesn't know who he is.
What? Who is that?
Then Yellow Guy shows us his dad. His name is Roy. And then Yellow Guy catches his dad doing interesting stuff on the computer. Then everyone starts actually enjoying the subject and they're thinking about it. But they're not doing it the way the clock likes it. Then the clock makes them age so much that they die.
Make it stop! It's out of my hands, I'm only a clock. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. But eventually everyone runs out of time.
In the third episode we see a missing poster. It says that the main characters are missing and that they were last seen on the 19th of June. And everyone is having a picnic and eating eggs. Even the bird is eating eggs. Then Yellow Guy sees a pretty butterfly, but Green Duck kills it.
Pesky bee?
And that makes Yellow Guy sad, so he runs away while crying. And he hides on a tree. Then a butterfly teaches Yellow Guy about love, and it gets really culty. And while Yellow Guy is joining the cult, Red Guy, Green Duck, Yellow Guy's dad, the notepad, and the clock are there watching. Then Yellow Guy snaps out of it, and his friends find him, and they give him the last egg, but the creepy cultist bee pops out of it, and Green Duck kills it.
Pesky bee?
Episode 4 starts with the main characters playing a card game, and it's still the 19th of June. Then Red Guy pulls a card that asks, "What is the biggest thing in the world?" Then everyone expects the globe to come to life and teach them about the world. But instead a computer comes to life and teaches them about technology. And he talks about how smart he is. Then Red Guy asks him what the biggest thing in the world is. but the computer ignores him and continues talking about technology. Then the computer starts asking them personal questions. And Red Guy is annoyed. So Red Guy tries turning him off, but instead the computer politely asks him to stop touching him.
Don't touch me!
What?
Then the computer transports them to the digital world. And there's only 3 things you can do in the digital world. You can do digital dancing, digital style, or nothing. But for some reason Red Guy doesn't like it. So he tries finding the cord to unplug the computer. And the cord led to another room. So he walked into the room. And in the room there was a cheaper version of the show. Then Red Guy's head blew up.
What?
Episode 5 starts with Green Duck and Yellow Guy sitting at a table. And something's missing. It's still the 19th of June. But something is missing. Then Green Duck looks at an image. And it's a picture of Red Guy, Yellow Guy, and Green Duck sitting at the table. Then it changes. And now Red Guy is gone and Green Duck is dead. And then Yellow Guy and Green Duck see a loaf of bread singing and playing music. Then a can joins in. Then a giant piece of steak joins in and they all sing about eating healthy. Then a red phone starts ringing. And Green Duck answers it. And then Green Duck wakes up in a hospital bed. Then he wakes up again and he's back in the kitchen learning about eating healthy. And they tell him that foods like white bread and pizza are very good. But foods like eggs and carrots are really bad. And if you eat the bad food your teeth will turn gray and you will die. Then the red phone starts ringing again. And Green Duck answers it again. Then he runs away. Then Green Duck wakes up in the hospital bed again. And a giant can takes out his insides and eats it. Then the teaching foods force Yellow Guy to eat a can of Green Duck's insides. Then the episode ends. And we see Red Guy walk away from a red phone booth. Episode 6 starts by Yellow Guy sitting on a bed crying. And he's sad that Red Guy and Green Duck are gone. And it's still the 19th of June. Then his lamp comes to life and starts singing about dreams. Then the lamp makes Yellow Guy drown in oil. Then Yellow Guy wakes up from his dream. And the lamp is still singing about dreams. And the lamp makes him drown in oil again. Then it cuts to Red Guy sitting at a desk. And he's told to file some files. Then Red Guy starts singing a song about the files coming to life.
I am a file and you put documents in me and a file. Funny.
But his boss says it sounds boring. And Red Guy is sad. Then Red Guy sings the song from episode 1 in front of everyone. And no one likes it. But in the corner of the room, Roy is sitting there, staring at Red. Then Red Guy is transported to an empty room. And he sees a TV playing Yellow Guy getting tortured. So Red Guy presses a button and it replaces the lamp with the clock, the computer, the cultist bee, the beef, the can, then Green Duck. But that gets changed away without Red doing it. Then it changes to a bunch of random characters, like some files.
I am a file and you put documents in me.
And a shovel played by Funtime Freddy himself. Then a yellow hand holds onto Red Guy's shoulder, and it's Roy. So Red follows a cord to a plug plugged into a wall, and
I wonder what will happen.
Now the show restarted, but Red Guy is blue, Green Duck is red, and Yellow Guy is green. And it's the 20th of June. And then a notepad opens up and starts singing the song from episode 1. I think the story started in the office that Red Guy worked at. and I think that this is when he came up with the idea of making an educational children's show. And then later that day he would go to a restaurant type place, and he would step onto the stage and pitch his idea. In his idea, there was only two characters, Red Guy and Green Duck, and they would learn about a bunch of stuff through songs. And no one liked it, but one person did. Roy picked the show up and funded it. We know this because after some of the episodes it's funded by Roy, but he changed a few stuff. He added his son to the show, and he did it so he could torture his son. We know this because he said this in an interview. My silly boy has allowed his eyes to grow arrogant and rude. For this I will take him on a trip to Punish Land. And Yellow Guy just gets hurt all the time in the show. And Roy also advertises his food, and he turns the whole show into one big ad. And Red Guy doesn't like what Roy did to his show. Then in episode 4 when he went to the room the cord led to, he found out that he could remake the show with a lower budget, and without Roy. So he leaves the show. Then he watches the show from the outside, and he tries to give Green Duck signs that he is going to die and he needs to leave. He does it by changing the image, and then he calls Green Duck to tell him, and Green Duck tries to run away, but he gets caught, and he dies. Then Red Guy tries to save Yellow Guy in the computer room, but he realizes that he can't. So he makes his own show, but Roy still owned the rights to the show and its characters. So Red Guy made new characters, named Blue Guy, Green Guy, and Red Duck. Okay, that's all now. In the future I'll probably make a theory about what season 2 means, but that's in the future. So please subscribe so you can see it come out. Bye 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 bye.